the internet is so plugged up. I don't know. I wonder. So I'm live on YouTube now. T in Space. Welcome to T in Space. So now you know how to go live. It was a good explanation, wasn't it? Do it again. Alright, watch me do it next time. I'll do it next time. If you want. If you want to learn how to go live on like YouTube and shit like that. It's not my bag. And why would I want to be on YouTube? It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure you're putting on me. I don't want to. What if I don't want to? So, what's the virus? I took a picture of that way before it became a virus. I actually invented the virus. I was the guy who invented it. It was really to cure other viruses, but I don't know, they used it for... That's not true. That's not true! Who is that guy that just came in and said those words into the mic? Not really sure, man. And that's me. I'm gonna drop the OBS system just down to the bottom there. There we go. Now we got more image. It's that darn cat. This is one of my painting projects. I used to be into painting. I used to be into a lot of stuff. But then I lost my mind. I lost it. So then I played cards for a while. Good 10 years. I learned all the dark arts. Everything that Mike Pence knows, I know. Who's that Mike Pence guy? I don't know. But I don't trust him. You know, the reason why I don't trust these guys, the main reason, is because they think they know so much. They think they know better than everybody else. And pride. When you think this way and you think you're invincible and then you attach pride to it, that's when things go the other way. So what we're looking for is the middle. What's the middle? My mom might have some good insight on that. What would be the middle? I wonder if we could agree. All of us. That the middle is probably the place to go. And then, see. Got to get to the middle first. If you're at the bottom end of it, and you got, let's say you're, which we are. Let's say we're in a deficit, a hole. Let's say we're in an actual physical hole. It's a big hole. Like, this isn't your regular hole. This is a deep one. This is deep. It's wide. It seemingly goes on forever, and you got to get yourself out of this hole to get to level ground. What do? Well, you start climbing, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could start climbing. It's a long way to climb, though, man. You sure? If there was a better way, if there was a faster way, if there was a better, faster way to get to the middle, and you could do it just like that, would you take it? Would you do it? No, well, no, I have to climb up the hill. Do you? Do you? I guess you do. Start climbing. You're at the bottom of a fucking hole, right? But you don't need to climb. That's the point of the story. And it can happen where you're at middle, level, center. Easy. But I don't know. That's just one guy's thoughts on it. It's an hour and 18 minutes in. Coming to you live from the Beaumont Motel in Penticton, British Columbia, Canada. If you're wondering where that's located, it's in Canada. If you're wondering where Canada is, it's just on top of the United States. We're always on top of the United States. We've always been on top of the United States. We're on the top. Tippy top. We should do away with countries. No more borders. Doesn't make sense to have a border between United States and Canada for sure. Or Mexico. Or the whole continent. It's all America. South America, North America. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Too many people lose out when you have countries, borders, and it seems like it's the same countries that lose out all the time because they were playing behind the eight ball the whole time. It's like if you grow up in the wrong end of town, well, you had a bigger hole that you had to dig yourself out of. So then you think, man, I got this huge hole that I gotta dig my way out of, and like I'm buried here. I'm buried. It's not just a hole. Like there's no air to breathe. Now we gotta dig for air. All right. Or can we fix it? Right away. Can we fix it? Pretty sure we can. Getting rich with Bitcoin. Your Norton has expired. Get your answers now. No, I'll answer my answers. I'll answer my questions. And then I'll question my answers. I'm going to question your answers, for sure. Question my answers. And then what? And then we figure out what the truth is. Do you really want to know what the truth is? I wonder what the truth is. So I'm coming to you live on YouTube, Facebook, twice on Facebook, sharing my screen, watching some slides. All of my photos that are on this computer right now, you are privy to. Just got them on random. And I'm not really sure where to go from here. I think I gotta play a song. What comes up first? What's this first song that comes up on YouTube? Let's trust YouTube for one day in our life. Just trust that they know better. No, you can't. You can't allow that to happen. But here it comes. Oh, Tommy Cowell's Tea in Space. That's live with Rupert. Were we were listening to Rupert, weren't we? No, he's the voice of reason. And I like the way he does this whole thing. This is very good. Yeah. Sure. Save him. Light.
Simply allow your experience to be as it is, without any attempt to change it in any way.
Perfect. I'm not going to try to change it. I'm just going to add music to it. Well, that's kind of changing it, but I don't think that's what he was talking about. I don't think that's what that's why I'm taking the risk. Because why not? Because we're all just meditating here together, right? Have you listened to Bach lately? How about Moxie Fruvis?
Notice that whatever we are experiencing, we are present.
If you're serious
in the
about
midst
your business,
of
you
our
need to build
experience.
systems. You have to find a great tool like money.com to do it. So my biggest struggle...
Money.com. I'm not sure. Doesn't feel right.
If I am lonely, I am present there. If I am tired, I am present. If I am hungry, I am present. If I am depressed, I am present there in the midst of the depression. If I am in love, I am present there in the midst of the feeling.
Well, that's very nice. Don't you think?
Whatever I am experiencing, I am present there in the midst
That
of
compliments,
the experience.
right? It's very nice.
All our lives we have been saying statements about ourselves, such as I am 10 years old, or I am 30 years old, or I am 50 years old. I am married, or I am single, I am a mother or a father. I am a friend, I am tired, I am lonely, I am in love, I am dreaming, I am attending a retreat, I am reading such and such a book, etc., etc. In all these statements we refer to ourself, our basic self, or our basic being, that we refer to when we say, I am. And in all these statements, our basic self or being is qualified by various feelings, activities, relationships, states, etc. All the feelings, the activities, activities, the relationships, the states continuously change. But our essential being, that to which we refer when we say I am, remains consistently present throughout these changing feelings, states, activities, and relationships. In other words, throughout our life, our essential being becomes mixed with, and as a result apparently qualified by, various activities, states, feelings, relationships, etc. In almost all cases, we give our attention exclusively to the feelings, the activities, the states, the relationships, which color or qualify our self. But we neglect or overlook or forget ourself. So, for instance, when we say, I am tired, we give our attention to the feeling of tiredness, and the being that I essentially am goes, as it were, into the background. We overlook it. If I am depressed or in love, we give our attention to the feeling, but not to the self, not to our basic, to our essential being that is qualified temporarily by a feeling of depression or being in love. So the first thing we do here is give our attention to ourself. Which means we give our attention to that which we say, to that to which we refer when we say simply, I am. Before what I am has been qualified or conditioned by experience. No need to reject any experience that we are having. So whatever experience you are having now, whatever your primary experience is, I am listening to a guided meditation, I am tired, I am lonely, I am sad, whatever you're feeling, don't touch the feeling, but emphasize the I am aspect of your experience. Instead of emphasizing the objective content of your experience and allowing yourself, your essential being, to fade into the background. Let the objective content of your experience fade into the background and emphasize your being, yourself. Not your thoughts, not your feelings, not what I'm saying, not your bodily sensations. Just become aware of what you say, refer to when you say simply, I am. Before what I am is qualified by experience. don't try to find or know what I am as an objective experience. What I am is too close to myself, too close to itself, to be able to be known or found as an objective experience, just as the eyes are too close to themselves to be able to see themselves. The eyes can only see something that is at a distance from them. Likewise, our self can only know something that is at an apparent distance from itself. We cannot separate ourselves from ourselves in order to know ourselves as an object of experience. At the same time, our own being is not something unknown to us. In fact, our own being is more intimately known to us or by us than anything else. Our own being is closer to us than our most intimate thoughts and feelings. So we don't have to go anywhere. Or do anything in order to be aware of ourselves. If I were to ask you now, relatively speaking, stand up and take a step towards yourself, where would you go? What would you do? It's the same thing here. Where do you have to go? Or what do you have to do to know yourself, to be aware of your own being? If I were to ask you, be aware of the sound of the wind, you direct your attention towards the sound. If I were to ask you, be aware of the sensation at the soles of your feet. You direct your attention towards the sensation. If I were to ask you, be aware of these flowers. You direct your attention towards the flowers. But if I were to suggest, be aware of yourself. Where do you go? What do you do with your attention? Remember the word attention from the two Latin words and tendere. meaning to or towards, and tendere meaning to stretch. We can stretch ourselves, we can stretch our attention towards an object of experience. But there is no distance from ourself to ourself. No distance to be traveled. No pathway from ourself to ourself. And therefore no room for the stretching or directing of attention. Simply be with yourself. Experience. But there is no from ourselves. Most people live in their thoughts, feelings, activities, and relationships. And in doing so, overlook or ignore themselves. Live in yourself, be established in yourself. Remember yourself. Be aware of yourself, that is, be aware of your being. Or, more accurately, simply be aware of being. When I say be aware of being, I subtly imply that being is one thing and we can be aware of it. I subtly imply a difference between being and we who are aware of it. I do not mean to imply this. When we say, I am aware that I am, or I know that I am, we do not refer to two different eyes. The I that knows that I am is not different from the I that I am. The I that I am is the same I that knows that I am. In other words, our own being knows itself. That is, our being is self-aware or self-knowing. Our own being is not known by something other than itself. In other words, our own being is aware being. And the only reason that we can each say with absolute certainty that I am is because I know that I am. This knowing of our own being is the most intimate, the most obvious, each say with the most familiar, the most well-known experience there is. But most people are so fascinated by the content of experience that they overlook their own being. They ignore their own being. Our own being is not something unfamiliar to us. It is simply buried, as it were, underneath or behind layers of experience. Later I will contradict that statement, but for one who is lost in the drama of experience, our own being seems to be hidden, as it were, behind experience, behind layers of thinking, feeling, acting, relating. Our own being is not unfamiliar to us. It is more familiar to us. It is more familiar to itself than any other experience, but it is, in most cases, so thoroughly mixed with experience as to seem to be buried or obscured by it. What is traditionally called enlightenment or awakening is not the acquisition of some marvelous new experience. It is simply the recognition of our being as it is. It is the revelation of the nature of our essential being. The word revelation coming from the Latin revelare, meaning to lay bare. What is called awakening or enlightenment is just the laying bare of our essential being, not a being that we might become if we meditate for long enough or practice hard enough, but the being that we always and already are, but in most cases obscured or colored by experience. So what is referred to traditionally as enlightenment or awakening is not an extraordinary or an exotic experience. It is not an experience at all. It is simply the recognition of the nature of our being that lies at the heart of all experience, irrespective of its content, its recognition of itself. Ask yourself the question, what is the nature of myself before myself is qualified or conditioned by experience? The name that each of us gives to ourself is I. What is it that we refer to when we say I? We have always been I. We say, I had a dream last night, I slept well last night. So I must remain present through all three states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. What is it that remains present in your experience through the three states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep? We have been calling ourselves I all our lives. So I must be that element of experience that remains continuously present throughout all changing experience. What is that? What element of your experience is always with you? No thought, feeling, sensation, perception, activity, relationship is always with us. All of these are appearing and disappearing. But I remain consistently present throughout all changing experience. What is this I that I essentially am? Allow the objects of experience, that is your thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perceptions, etc., to fade into the background of your experience. And allow your being, which was previously in the background of experience, to come into the foreground. Simply rest in being as being. Don't leave yourself, don't go away from yourself. Come back to yourself. living in thoughts, feelings, activities, and relationships. Live in yourself, with yourself, as yourself. Come back to yourself. The Sufi mystic Lama said, "I traveled so far in search of God, but when I finally stopped and turned around, there he was within me." Consider the possibility that what is traditionally referred to as God, that is infinite, self-aware being, shines in each of our minds as the knowledge I, and permeates each of our bodies as the feeling of being. But is not limited to our minds or our bodies, just as space fills and permeates this room, but is not limited, is not confined in or limited by this room.
Alright, what were we talking about? That's the back of a piece of furniture I painted. This is just some pictures. I'll be right back.
the lockdown. 2 words: financial crisis for the individuals involved.
And Julia, some banks are warning tomorrow is going to be utter chaos. Tomorrow is when small business owners can begin applying for these stimulus loans. Some lenders say they need clear rules on vetting borrowers and forgiving loans if small business owners keep employees on their payroll. There's questions about whether they have to apply in person or whether they can do it online. Are these issues going to be able to be ironed out fast enough for tomorrow's deadline?
Yeah, in 24 hours, Jake, absolutely not. Remember, the Small Business Association is now promising to give out 10 times the amount of loans it made in the entire year in 2019. But this, for me, is not even...
Because we need more loans.
When I saw and got my hands on a sample of the form, I was so excited. It's so simple. This is it. There's loads of check boxes, so simple to fill in. I was excited. Then I realised for lenders, it's too simple. They're worried about the fact that they're going to be giving out fraudulent loans. They're saying they need protection. So the bottom line is, Jake, we're not getting money to people.
We don't need to give loans out. We need to start from scratch. And the banking system needs to be completely revamped. What do I mean? Well, you figure it out. Look, you got a banking system that's fraudulent. You got a banking system that has been going about their business. Their business, not our business. Their business for how many centuries? Doesn't matter. And it got worse. And they've already been bailed out how many times? So we need to think of a different way of doing things. I got some suggestions, but come on. Pick one of the best one that you come up with and do that instead of banking. I can help. Probably not.
Them to bid against each other and FEMA. And now FEMA is bidding on top of 50. So FEMA is driving up the price.
Everybody loves their ventilators now, huh?
The federal government will back states up if needed, but there are questions about how.
I gotta get me a new ventilator, just in case.
Is running low.
Sending it directly to hospitals.
CNN has learned that only a portion of medical supplies being purchased by FEMA and flown in from overseas
And masks.
directly to coronavirus hotspots in the U.S.
And hand sanitizers. I'm making hand sanitizer now out of Canada Dry.
Purchased by the government. A FEMA spokesperson said some supplies are also being sent to the private market, where states are once again competing for them.
My name's Howard Lederer. This is my master class.
The White House says
Did you pay the girl at the door?
ventilators in the national stockpile,
Pay the lady.
ready to be deployed for areas that are the hardest hit.
Um,
But the New York Times reports there are thousands more ventilators still in storage, ones that can't be used because of a lapse in maintenance. The president has directed some private companies to speed up production of ventilators.
We're soon going to have more ventilators than we need.
we're gonna have so many ventilators, you won't be able to shake a stick at it.
Factories first.
That's how many.
Today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced a new bipartisan committee with subpoena power that will oversee the administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Where there's money, there's also frequently mischief.
She ended her conference call with reporters with this guidance.
Don't forget, hydrate, wash your hands, pray, dance, as if no one is watching.
Now, Jake, those ventilators...
We got a lot of old people in this town just walking around with each other in close proximity, not obeying the 2 meter 6-foot rule.
He says he can help facilitate the supply of materials so they can start getting those ventilators built on that private level from those private companies that we saw him use for the first time last week.
No one seems to be getting like really.
Kevin Collins, thank you so much. Coming up more.
Guess the hospital has some
succumb to the deadly coronavirus yourself. Stay with us. The small rural community now a national
Some
hotspot
cases,
after
but-
two sad events that triggered
Wow. For the widespread panic that's being pushed on us.
The U.S. now leads the world in the number of reported cases of coronavirus. Join Anderson Cooper and Dr. Sanjay Gupta live with Dr. Anthony Fauci and New York.
There's gonna be a reason. What is it?
At Sprint, our priority is keeping our customers, employees, and communities.
Who's in control? Who thinks they're in control? Who wants to have control anyways? Why are you
Shop at Sprint.com for free next day shipping and no activation fees on our
so hell-bent
Samsung
on
Galaxy S25G for just $0 a month. Plus, you'll also
maintaining
get a
your
$100
power?
prepaid MasterCard when you switch online.
What's the thing that goes on inside of your head when you operate on that level? I'm the best. I'm the only one that can fix it. I am the only one who knows. I am God. I am God. I am God. Nobody else is. That's probably that's the problem. Well, you'd be right saying you're God, but like everybody is, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they be? Because God is everywhere, right? 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 No? So you missed it, right? You missed that point. So pride. Pride is your problem. Not the only one. But it's very strong in you, leaders of the world, currently.
Emily hasn't bought groceries in weeks. So how is she creating this masterpiece? Her freezer is
Do you hear that?
Daily Harvest. That's
That noise in the background?
chef-crafted food, organic ingredients, delivered to your door, ready in minutes. See for yourself at dailyharvest.com. Go to dailyharvest.com and get started today.
Not a bad idea. Getting fresh fruits and vegetables sent to your home. It's not a bad idea. It's just like you can get them locally though, right? They don't have to be frozen and sent over from some other place. They can be... And that's what we're missing. We need to start focusing on our local economies. The global economy will be better if we focus on our local economies first.
Cover it up. That's what I did when I started losing my hair.
Write it down.
The easiest way for
You
me
can
to
quote
avoid
me
it
on that.
keep sending me clinically proven treatments that can stop my hair loss, which means no more covering up.
Hair
Go
loss.
to Keeps.com to learn more.
I instantly
Get over it.
FICO score by 18 points. I was really excited to get 3 new card offers. Oh, the choices!
Boost your credit scores instantly. Download the Experian app now.
A lot of commercials, eh? On cable. You wonder why people watch cable anymore. A lot of people do, though. And then they're swayed by the commercials that they see as well. So, man, you can sell any kind of topical cream or pharmaceutical, what have you. Ask your doctor. Have you asked your doctor about this medication yet? No, you should. Serplaxamplix. It's for hives. Do you have hives? Does it cure gonorrhea? So I think I got a touch of that. Gonorrhea. I don't know how I got it. Toilet seat, I think. Got it from a toilet seat. No, you didn't. No. Serplaxaplit.
I'm Omar Jimenez in Chicago, and this is CNN.
A new
For hives.
hotspot has emerged, not in a major city such as New York or Detroit.
Well, how about we look into some herbal remedies instead of having someone tell us
Small city.
how to
State health officials say
How to solve simple ailments.
With a funeral after a retired janitor died
Like
from a
shingles.
heart attack at the end of February.
Shingles is a real thing.
President Trump and Georgia
My
Governor
grandmother had shingles. Apparently there's a lot of pain. I think I had a touch of the shingles at one time.
and they gathered closely
Painful.
together.
Irritating. Itchy.
The CNN's Diane
Painful.
Gallagher reports
Itchy.
that's when local residents say the domino
Horrible.
effect started.
Shingles can be what? No. Look. We know that shingles are caused by stress, right?
Of Albany to say goodbye to Andrew Mitchell, the man that she loved for the past 20 years.
I just cured cancer today.
Crying and hugging each other.
I did.
Started feeling sick.
Less stress on the body, less stress in the mind, less stress just in general will cure cancer. You're welcome.
To be exposed to the coronavirus. She was hospitalized, but not immediately tested. Other members of their family, their friends who attended the funeral, began to get sick.
We think
too.
we're so smart.
And since then, several have died.
I got this chemical, this compound that I just came up with. We're not really sure exactly, but we're almost certain it's not going to affect you long term. The short term is going to be good. It'll affect you long term. Long term, you'll die. You'll die earlier, but I don't know. We're practicing. We're just figuring things out. What? Now I'm on 12 medication? Shit. Fuck me.
From there, the cases
No thanks.
2 the first day, it was 6 the next day, it was 8 the next day, and it just began to cascade from
I'll take it from here. I'll be my own doctor from now on. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
have died.
Thanks for your service.
Those are from the Albany area.
I don't need a doctor anymore.
Rips through their rural
What?
community for
Now you're talking crazy talk. When you can get a free doctor in Canada, you're not getting... No, I don't need a doctor anymore.
We're not, but we are still impacted, and when you look at the percentages of our population that's impacted, I mean, that's still a significant number.
No.
Scott Steiner, the CEO of Phoebe Putney Health
I also don't need a
Services
bank
Southwest
anymore.
Georgia, says they blew through 6 months worth of personal protective equipment.
Don't
in
need
just 1
banks.
week.
I don't have a bank account. I've done well without one for about 2 years now. So, well, how do you do that, friend? Well, several ways you can do it. But what's the best way? I'm not doing it the best way yet.
Making mask covers.
I know what the best way is. There's a few of them. Few best ways. Let's pick one.
We only have enough right now for less than 2 weeks.
Let's pick one best way, and we'll do that first, and then we'll take the next best way.
The governor deployed the National Guard to set up additional intensive care units.
We have shipped necessary supplies and planned more shipments
Or
based
not.
on the needs of Phoebe Putney's system in the future.
As for
Or
Maureen,
not.
she's back home now, but her daughter says, like many in this family, small community, the road to recovery.
It's my girlfriend, Izzy.
Is Paul watching her suffer? Yesterday, Governor Brian Kemp issued a statewide stay-at-home order that goes
Izzy,
into
eh?
effect tomorrow, but they've been
Yeah,
dealing
why
with
not?
this for weeks here in Albany. Jake, I asked
Short
him
for Lizzie.
if he thought that they were turning a corner, if they'd seen the worst of it already, and he simply shook his head and looked down and told me no.
Those are the skis I had to sell this winter. These are my kids. It's a card I got from my sister. She makes these cards. These are originals. The artwork is original behind the card. This is the back yard. And that's some kind of Sesame Street character. So, it's my friend, Moose. He cooks. He's sharpening a knife on the back of a bull. He's very smart. That's me. I'm stupid. I'm my name's Tom. And, watch out. Watch your head. I'm gonna flick this. Watch. Hey. Ah, I missed. I missed your head. It's my mom and her new husband, Joe. Joe Russo. It's my toaster at night. What else you want to know? Yeah, you didn't ask. I just kind of forced myself on the conversation, didn't I? It's my family in the back there. For some reason, I got a lot of owls. know, this is when I cleaned. I used to clean my house, and I don't clean anymore. I decided just let it rest a little bit. Let it sit.
It is a severe test for all of the health systems.
See where it
And I have to
ends
say,
up.
the way people have stepped up and responded to this, it's really been incredible to see. But we know it is going to continue to get worse.
Oh, we know it's going to continue to get worse because why? All right, let's do math. How many people die in your country every day? How many people die in the world every day? And is it increasing? Is it increasing? I don't think it is. So what's the pandemic?
And Dr. New Orleans officials tell CNN that one
It's a good question.
that they hypothesized
When you put it that way, when you put it up against the numbers,
because the population
I only deal with facts.
has a higher rate of under
Yeah, just the facts, ma'am. I don't need to know the emotional hullabaloo behind the story. Just the facts. Give me the facts. All right. Well, the fact is that just don't get it. You know, practice. You know, good hygiene. We all know what good hygiene is. We all know how to wash our hands. We all know not to sneeze on each other. We all know certain things, right? If you're sick, stay home. It's the same thing, right? You don't have to quarantine a whole country or a whole world. Because we can do it ourselves, right? That's right. So we do it ourselves. Give no trust, get no trust. Government, that was your first lesson. Mark it down! You're not, because I know you're not going to remember it. Mark it down, and then you can meditate on it. Give no trust, get no trust. Mark it down. That's me. It's also me. Playing around with light. I'm really pleased with myself. I figured something out, so I took a picture of it. Every time I figure something out, I take a picture. Oh, I figured another thing out. Wait a minute. He's going to disappear. Watch. Wow, he transformed into Howard Lederer. We can't track this guy. He's got too many faces he hides behind. Too many faces. Can't track him. Can't pin anything on him. Essentially, he's no one. Nowhere man. Hover man. Hi, my name's Hoverman.
Sometimes we have to use a step-down ventilator for a patient who maybe...
Sometimes I stand, sometimes I sit. My daughter asked me a question recently, and I kind of... originally, he sat a lot, right? Just legs straight out. But sometimes he stands. So, basically, Hoverman does whatever he wants anytime he wants. But, he doesn't talk very much. It's another toy I bought. Came from the same $20 bag.
We'll start with Ben Luderer. He was a healthy 30-year-old teacher and baseball coach from New Jersey. His wife, who is also currently battling coronavirus,
I'm so fortunate.
this is how she wants him to be.
Aren't we fortunate?
Every single person, whether he knew you for 5 minutes or he knew you for, his whole entire lifetime, he would give you the same respect.
Are we still talking about coronavirus?
Make you laugh in any way possible.
Why?
That was just the type of selfless person that he was, always worrying about everybody else.
All right.
Himself.
That's nice.
Conrad Buchanan was a healthy 39-year-old D-Gen. His wife and daughter fought to get him tested for days. They were denied. His wife, Nicole, says by the time he was finally admitted to the hospital in Florida, he was immediately intubated, and then she never got to see him again. May their memories be
You want to know what I know?
to their families and friends today. Coming up, a look across the globe where an ice
You want to know what I know?
more in one country
What? Do you want to know what I know?
Stay with us.
Make it good. We're all gonna die.
Give me your hand!
It's true.
I can save you! Lots of money with Liberty Mutual!
Liberty, 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 liberty. Insurance. Yeah, because we need more insurance. And we need more loans, we need more banks, we need more oil, we need what? How about we change our thinking, okay? When we catch the bad guys, can we do something about the other bad guys? You know? Can you just change your mentality from greed to compassion? Make that switch. When we get the bad guys.
When dawn breaks a new day.
Bad guys catch bad guys.
Changes her mind. You're always here when others need a hand. On the farm.
So that's how you know who the bad guys are.
Carrying this nation.
Because they always think they have an enemy.
In over 1,800 communities. With the feed and supplies.
Because they're that bad. They do. They have lots of enemies. They've made lots of enemies.
At Papa John's, we want you to know that from our 450-degree oven to bottom.
The bad guys. And good guys. Oh, we're the good guys. We're the military. We're the good guys, right? Take down the deep state. We're the good guys. Well, are you? You think very highly of yourself, that's for sure. Now, is it just the other side of the coin that went sideways? Actually, it didn't go sideways. It should have went sideways. Sideways would have been better than landing on that side of the coin as opposed to the other side of the coin, which was horrible too. You had two choices. Both were like really, really shitty.
You can even see how your predictions might affect the value of the stocks you're interested in.
Stocks. You want to talk about stocks?
True contracts, British paper competition. And begging for a crumpet guy.
You want to invest in something like really important? Invest in your community. Invest in your family. Invest in your friends. Invest in good ideas. Invest in ideas that generate something better for humanity. Like free energy. We can do it. Easy. The technology's out there. We know that. It's like, just ask yourself these questions. What would be okay, here we go. Slow it down, buddy. What would be better? What would be better?
Attention, do you have Medicare? Did you know that you may qualify to get $135 added back to your Social Security check every month?
Continuing with the fossil fuel industry and having something that works for the most part, but you know, it's limited. The resources are limited, and you have to come up with shittier and shittier ways to get this oil. Okay, so or what would be better? Or free energy. Well, how do you do that? Well, pick one of the ways. Fusion. Cold fusion. Does it work? Well, yeah, it's kind of proven that it works. You know, can we focus on that then? Because if we focus on cold fusion, or something like it, then the energy could be free for everybody. It would power everything for a very long time. For a very long time. An indefinite number of days. Time intervals.
I have some breaking news for you now. That
Breaking news!
USS Theodore Roosevelt is expected to be relieved from duty.
CNN reporting exactly what we are told to report by those that deem this news necessary. America! America, good timing on that. Trust yourself. Think for yourself.
The aircraft carrier had
don't allow others to have that authority over you. You think for yourself, then it's better for humanity. Because we all know what the truth is. And the truth is constantly moving. But we know what right is from wrong, right? No? You don't know right from wrong? Yeah, you do.
But could be used as a makeshift morgue. And as most of the world is preparing to see the worst of this pandemic, some are looking to China as a window.
I might go for a walk today.
Future, but as CNN's David Culver reports,
I might go for a walk now.
fears from officials all over the world.
I'm going to think about
The
that.
numbers and information provided by the Chinese government simply cannot be trusted.
As the United States and the rest of the world locks down, China cautiously opening back up, easing travel restrictions. And next week, it will allow people to freely leave Wuhan, the birthplace of the pandemic, for the first time in more than 2 months. The World Health Organization has consistently praised China's handling.
They're rapidly finding these cases, rapidly containing them, and using the principles that China employs.
President Donald Trump also applauding the Chinese efforts just a few weeks ago.
I know this President Xi loves the people of China, he loves his country, and he's doing a very good job with a very, very tough situation.
But as numbers in the U.S. continue to rise, so does the skepticism over just how reliable China's numbers are and how transparent it's been with its data.
The reality is that we could have been better off if China had been more forthcoming.
Video shows Wuhan's grieving residents collecting the remains of their loved ones. Daishin, a leading Chinese business publication, claimed there were thousands more urns delivered than the official coronavirus death toll. But worth pointing out, 2 days after the lockdown, Wuhan officials halted all funeral services in a city of 11 plus million.
I think we gotta put things in perspective and not worry so much. I think that's just a generally good practice to preach. To not worry.
In part because of something that now many countries are challenged with.
Because what happens when a group of people are panicked, it multiplies. And then all of a sudden you got like hospitals being overrun by potential cases, which are... We gotta know ourselves better.
She never had a nucleic acid test.
This is my grandmother.
Her cause of death was officially listed as severe pneumonia.
She lived a long time.
The doctor said it was very
She's no longer with us. This is my place. That's me in the back there.
Could not be counted.
And that's me. I'm gonna go for a walk.
This Wuhan seafood market, but they did not shut it down until January.
So have a good day. And I'll see you when I get back some other time.
Mysterious illness and silenced whistleblowers like Dr. Li Wenliang, who tried to sound the alarm. He was reprimanded by police, later died from the virus, and now the Chinese government is hailing him a hero. The country's National Health Commission officially began releasing daily
is resisting the idea they issued a national stay-at-home order.
You have to look at it. You have to give a little bit of flexibility. But if a state in the Midwest, or if Alaska, as an example, doesn't have a problem, it's awfully tough to say, close it down.
But it's clear some GOP governors are taking their cues from the president, like Florida's Ron DeSantis, who just issued his own order based on Mr. Trump's comments this week.
You've seen his demeanor the last couple of days. That's not necessarily how he always is. I mean, I think that we all look at this and say, this thing is really nasty.
Georgia's GOP Governor Brian Kemp says he was surprised to learn people without symptoms can spread the virus.
Those individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt that. Well, we didn't know that until the last 24
said that back in January.
You know that in the beginning, we were not sure if there were asymptomatic infection, which would make it a much broader outbreak than what we're seeing. Now we know for sure that they're all.
Part of the problem, a Trump advisor said the president was listening to aides, insisting the virus would disappear in April, adding he took a gamble and got it wrong.
You know, a lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat, as the heat comes in. And typically that will go away in April.
A widow of a veteran who died from the coronavirus said the president was spreading confusion.
The commander-in-chief was saying it was nothing, you know? I don't want to add anger to my other feelings, so I just can't be mad about it. I just think there was a lot of confusion.
Good morning.
Too much confusion for something so serious.
One government official who tried to warn the public, Dr. Anthony Fauci, now needs extra security.
Checking in with those who are close to me.
You just focus on the job you have to
Stay
do.
1,800 million, thousand, something.
Try as best as possible not to pay
Figured
attention
it
to
out.
it and just forge ahead.
See you on your live soon.
As announced, the president has invoked the Defense
Hello,
Production Act
good
once again to
morning.
stimulate the production of more hospital ventilators. As for the economy, it's not clear how quickly Americans will get any relief from the recently passed $2 trillion stimulus bill.
Notice that
Yesterday,
this
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi
open,
established
empty
a special
field or
committee to investigate the
region
federal
within
response to the
which all
coronavirus.
experience arises is not
Colleagues are reporting that it
an
could take
inert
20
field.
20 weeks for some Americans to receive their stimulus checks by mail. Clearly, Wolf, that is way too long. And one other note about the briefing that should be starting shortly, Dr. Anthony Fauci, I am told,
It is an
is not
unknowing
going to be at
field or an aware field.
We'll watch it really very closely. Thank you very much. So we're joined now by
Whatever arises within it is simultaneously known by it.
Hey. How you doing? You're live. All right. Visuals, boy. What do you have to say? Well, can we turn down the music a little bit? Is that a possibility? Can we just turn it down just a little slightly? Or like right off? Can we turn it off? Just for now. Can we take that down? That's true.
That tweet by President Trump that Jim Acosta just mentioned. Let me read it once again to you.
All right.
Massive amounts of medical supplies, even hospitals and medical centers, are
Is
being
there?
delivered directly to states and hospitals by the federal government. Some have insatiable appetites and are never satisfied. Politics? Remember, we are a backup to them. The complainers should have been...
So sometimes you better have to there's a gun in your hands pointing to your head. Do you think you're mad? Too unstable. Kicking in chairs and is that what you? I don't know what you're saying. What are you saying, dude? Speak up.
Oh, joyfully, oh, playfully, watching me.
Oh, it sounds like you're way off.
Then they send me away to teach me how to be sensible.
Really? Too loud.
Logical.
Logical? Seem like it.
Practical. And then they send me
You're making a huge turd out of yourself. Oh, clinical. Oh, intellectual. Cynical. Oh.
10 million cases. You know, the federal government, like a whole lot of other areas in our lives, but certainly in a crisis, there's nothing replacing it. The federal government has got to play a big outsized role right now.
And you say you're not...
Listen, again, we've got open lines. They have delivered. We've now gotten a total of 850 ventilators. I am grateful for that. We've got an ask-in for an additional 1,650. We're trying to buy personal protective equipment. Literally, today, personally, I've been on with folks in Germany, Taiwan, People's Republic of China, as well as some folks in the United States. We're not waiting for it. We're building up hospitals, and again, the Army Corps is helping us, and I thank them profusely. But in all of those channels and all of those avenues, we can only do so much. Any one state can only do so much, and again, we need our federal partners with us.
We now know, this is very disturbing, Governor, that thousands of the federal government's ventilators could not be distributed because they were not maintained before this pandemic reached the U.S. What did that tell you about the overall U.S. level of preparedness for a crisis of this magnitude?
Yeah, I would say this, the ventilators we've gotten, I'm not going to wood, at least till to date, we've had a very high hit rate of functioning, thank God. On the one hand, I'll leave history to the historians in terms of how we got here. But on the other hand, man, we got to, all of us have to do one of the biggest postmortems when the dust settles on this in the history of our country. We got to figure out how the heck we got to this spot and make sure we never get in this spot ever again.
A lot of people want a 9/11 type commission of
I don't know whose freaking idea this is, but
lessons, in case, God forbid, this ever comes up again.
quit freaking smoking.
Andrew Cuomo of New York says the virus could continue to plague his state until August. Are you preparing for a similarly lengthy timeline?
Yeah, I don't know that I've got a specific date for you, Wolf, but we know this is not going to be tomorrow or next week or even probably a month from now. This is a marathon. You know, New Jersey and New York, along with our neighbors in Connecticut, we have put in place now for many weeks some of the very strongest restrictions on people moving around. And by the way, if you're watching from New Jersey, one piece of advice, stay at home, period.
Stay at home!
The great news is if you look at these heat maps, the travel has gone down dramatically. Please God, that translates into a flattening of the curve.
Flatten the
and therefore
curve.
a much more reasonable
We gotta flatten the
exchange
curve.
between the rate of people who are sick and our healthcare system's ability to treat them. That may extend the reality, but it may well be a much more manageable reality.
Very quickly,
we got to make sure the order is right here. We get the virus
So
first,
good.
then we get the economy back open.
Is it time for the people of New Jersey to start wearing masks or face coverings right now?
I saw what Los Angeles is doing. I think in a perfect world with the amount of supplies that we would need to do that, probably I'm not a health expert. My fear is that we've already got shortages with healthcare workers, first responders. We're hearing
the
from
best
our
honey I've
retail
ever
and
had.
transit brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
They feel exposed. I think we have to deal with the
I don't know what I can
priorities
do.
first.
Governor Murphy, good luck to you. Good luck to all the folks in New
Well, that
Jersey. I know this
saves
is
my
an
life.
extremely painful and difficult experience.
Saves
Thanks
my
so much for
life.
joining us.
It does.
And an important note to our viewers, stay with CNN for a global town hall, coronavirus facts and fears, hosted by our own Anderson Cooper and Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Dr. Anthony Fauci and New York Governor Andrew Cuomo will be taking your questions. That airs later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only here on CNN. There's more news we're following right now.
T in space. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Dun dun do 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 do. YouTube. I don't think YouTube's the only place I can do this. Go live. Stream. Bring in the OBS, please. OBS, you got it. OBS is the best. OBS, yay! We got OBS here, yay! Dum bum ba-dum bum 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 bum. T in space. Do 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 do. Dun dun do 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 do. Dun 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 do do do. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. General. Go back. We go back. Go back.